that the Australian workers will find is that I am their best friend.
So I've heard about these attacks on me by the Abbott government and the Newman government on penalty rates. Penalty rates is what compensates us for not being there. Not being there for the family, not being there for my kids. I've got 2 little boys, 5 and 6 year olds. They want Dad there on the weekends. They want Dad at the barbecue. They want Dad at the beach.
I've heard about these attacks on weekend penalty rates from the government, and if I could speak for myself, that if I lose the penalty rates, my living standards will go down. I will probably not have enough to live on.
The effect the penalty rates will have on me is would be huge, because all my shifts are on penalty rates, and because I work a 7-day roster, a continuous 7-day roster, a lot of my shifts are on Saturdays and Sundays. I've done the numbers on the penalty rates, how it would affect me and my family. It would approximately be $16,000 a year. Yeah, I'd only earn about $41,000 a year, so it'd be massive.
Myself as a new grandmother, I find that I miss out on a lot of time with my granddaughter. And also when you come home from shift work, there is no one there. So you have breakfast alone. And then at night time when your family are eating dinner together, you're getting ready to go to work, so you miss out on that social time as well with your family.
You know, it's important for us because we work at night and we want that penalty rate. And if we don't, I think we lose about $100 and something a week if we don't get that penalty rate. We'll have to cut some stuff from her and from our staff as well. So I think it is important, because that 150 can get us a lot of things for my daughter, for myself, and for my family.
If penalty rates were taken away from me, I would lose roughly about $200 a week, which is massive in my household. It would affect us a lot. Less food on the table, struggling to pay my power bill, phone bill, just general life stuff that, other people take for granted.
United Voice members are, amongst the lowest paid workers in Australia, and without penalty rates, they simply don't have a livable wage. Our members are struggling now. To take away penalty rates on weekends or night shifts, they simply won't survive.
We are the lowest paid in the ambulance service, patient transport officers. So our wage would obviously come down about $20,000. So, for most of us who have families and children, some of us are single parents, it would have a great impact on our lives. Well, I think we all have mortgages. The electricity's gone up, food, the basic resources, petrol. I think that our time with our children and families would be limited, because we wouldn't be able to afford to do the little special things that we would want to do.
The practical impact that we would probably lose around about $200 odd for the weekend. Everybody will then have to make cuts in their standard of living.
If we didn't have the compensation for that, what's the point of coming to work? Why should I go out to watch everyone else at their picnics and the barbecues when they injure themselves, when they trip over, when they're having fun, when they're having a few beers with their friends and mates at the footy? Why should I go out there? If I'm not going to be compensated for it, you're not going to get me to do it. It's not going to happen.
Our job role is that we look after old people and people with disabilities, and part of our role is to feed them, to look after them, transporting them from A to B, also dressing them if need to be, and also changing them if they're incontinent. And it is important that we have people who are prepared to work weekends to look after these people, because they are a 24/7 care.
So it amazes me that Tony Abbott wants to take away all the penalty rates at the airport from shift workers, when he is talking up about national security, especially when we're on high alert. It's just been brought in. So it's disappointing that he's going to try and take away our penalty rates when he's talking up the national security of Australia.
So while big business are saying they want to take away penalty rates from our lowest paid workers, they're also not paying their fair share of tax. A study that we've just completed by United Voice, shows that they're paying less than a third of their tax, and that totals $8.4 billion. So United Voice has been very vocal on the issue of penalty rates for a long time. we're nationally focused on it as a union because it means so much to our members. In Queensland, we've been directly involved in the ACTU campaign, which was first launched in Townsville, where we saw, the broader community up in Townsville shift their voting preferences by up to 8%, which is unheard of from a union campaign, just on the basis of whether their local politician was in favour or not of abolishing penalty rates. That campaign's now being rolled out in Cairns, and again we're seeing the same significant groundswell of support from the broader community to make sure that their local politicians do not abolish penalty rates.
As a paramedic, I urge people to get involved, members to get involved, attend rallies, talk to your friends. Doesn't matter what field you're in, if you think that you're not going to be affected, just think about your family, think about your friends, think about your kids. They might have to work penalties at a later stage. Sooner or later, someone associated with you will be in that position. We want to keep our penalties. Don't let Abbott take them away from us.
That the Australian workers will find is that I am their best friend.